be here because I signed in early. How about that? I really got to start a audio's a bit tiny. Any better? Audio any better? La 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 la. Play must be pretty good. Ah, yeah, yeah. My Smurf on. There goes the PG rating. My favorite kind of apple. It's Honey Crisp. Love these things. They're still stupid expensive though, compared to regular apples. Red Delicious is pretty generic. I don't like Galagas. Galagas, I guess, are okay. What do they call them? Macintoshes. Forget that shit. Granny Smiths are even worse. Unless you make a cider out of them, but they'll have their own. They all have their own use. Like Galagas are pretty good for just all around being an apple. Macintoshes make mushy pie. Galagas are pretty good for pies, if I remember correctly. You don't use Red Delicious because they're eating apples. They don't cook up well. I just don't like the texture of the Smiths and the other ones are. I like crunchy. Yeah, nice green apple. Haven't had one of those since I haven't had one of those in years. Used to walk out of the store and they had pears and stuff. Every once in a while, I could smell them. Fruit just smells amazing sometimes. Especially when the damn strawberries come in. Oh, forget it. Six people and I haven't done squat. Except sit here and healthily stuff my face. Because pizza for brunch. Oh, an entire pizza for brunch. But I did plan on that being my only caloric intake for the week. Oh, not for the week, for the day, other than fruit and vegetables. You got a butt of carrots. Kind of started falling down the junk food thing. Don't want to start falling down that road again. It don't feel good when you eat a bunch of junk food. Tonight, since I've finished my apple, I do believe I'm going to try to let you guys watch paint dry. I'll be working on a commission. Depending on how far I get, you might see some thin crust pizza. Oh, it was Hawaiian pizza, so there was pineapple on it. only because there was no bacon chicken ranch. It sells out quick. Probably my favorite kind of pizza, other than pierogi pizza. I allow myself pizza once a week, provided I haven't eaten like a pig, junk food and McDonald's breakfasts and things like that. Yeah, Krylan. It's for get the apple off my hand here. For a commission. Just drag it through the apple. Clowny, why don't you? Hard to believe it's a Krylon color. I mean, I gotta give it to him. I mean, it doesn't show up for having the colors right, at least. I mean, only blew all over my apple. The only problem is its adhesion quality is, well, one of the problems is its adhesion quality is kind of shitty compared to vinyl dye. So you gotta watch it. I'm a little worried it was gonna turn out funky because I kind of lost the light when I was painting it. But I didn't get any low spots, which is good. Why was I thinking about a worm gear? Oh, that Uzi thing. That's right. That Uzi thing that came out. I use as a worm gear and get an order, and I was going to look at that to see if that worm gear had accompaniment. I was working on a Tommy 20. And I burnt the motor and ended up having to twitch the motor. And I did so with a Honey Badger, which a lot more torque, but then the damn armature got all bound up, which is a shame because it was like 2-3 months worth of work on this body. And you can't just, you know anything about Tommy 20s, it's not like a Strife or a Rapid Strike where they just go pusher. Oh, your pusher burnout. Okay, there's another one. No, it's all armatures and stuff that's bolted through. And for some reason it doesn't want to spin, and it's a shame because I put a lot of work into the damn thing, like 3 months worth of work in the body, and I can't seem to make it work. I was going to take it to End War and have it on display, maybe sell it. When it was shooting, it was dropping things like a hammer. Almost there. Mustache hair. Okay. Proper disposal. That way I don't put juice all over my trash can. Okay. Fuzzy water. Maybe fuzzy malty water later. Yay, Clowner! The crowd goes wild as he waddles onto the stage. It's freaking. Now, anybody that's following weather, I'm guessing anybody that's, out in the east right now. I mean, it's out in the Midwest. It's probably following it pretty good. We're having lots of storms right now over Pennsylvania here. They're kind of a pain. So at any point in the sump pump might actually kick on here and scare the living piss out of me, which is completely. Oh, that is some fuzzy water. Scare the living piss out of me, which is. Oh, come on, Cloudy, get your act together. Completely freaking possible. It's just gonna make my hands sticky. I didn't think of that. Dumbass. So much blue. So I usually wear gloves when I do this. I didn't think I'd get any on my hands. Should have known better. Had it been vinyl dye, I wouldn't have got any on my damn hands. But nope. Krylon. But we've been having a ton. Tactical nerd. Been sniffing paint. Well, yeah, actually I have. I got to keep this in my pocket at all times. It's the only way to keep it from getting fogged up is to carry this shit around with me. Here, because I got to keep the temperature of it up constantly in the basement here. But the damn weather is rainy and shitty, and it is making everything damp and miserable. So we're going to attempt to do some brushing of paint on things with English today. Today, more Bob Rossing. Yep. Just square that up more. See if I can remember to actually keep what the hell I'm doing in frame this time. Mr. Homely, how are you today? I'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, when I get down to Endor, I won't have my Thor hammer. I'll actually have a band hammer we can all sign, which would be cool. I'd like to have that. I don't know if I'm going to get the built. I got to make a bunch of knives to take down with me there. I can hammer them off pretty quick, but they make a shitload of dust. Not looking forward to that. Statesboro, Georgia, Mr. Tactical Nerd. It's going to be a Vaporeon. It is going to be a 12-hour ride. It's probably going to feel longer because I'm going with Pirate Johnson. Thought I must have had company for half of that, but that's not going to work out the way I thought it might. So, but Pirate Johnson and me are going to hump it down together. Did I not get that section? Please tell me I didn't. So I can be mad. Oh, hell, he can drink all that crap. I am more or less a Mountain Dew purist, my friend. I do not like people, screwing with my Mountain Dew. I do like the lemonade one that came out. I thought that was pretty good. But for the most part, Mountain Dew doesn't need to be messed with. It's Mountain Dew. It's awesome. I gotta dig up my pirate flag. I'm pretty sure he's got one somewhere, but I gotta dig my pirate flag up and put that down. And I'm also trying to get myself a banner for this event here. My buddy Josh from Blair County Nerf and Francis Foamworks, I think is what it is. He does a whole lot of blasters. He's quick and he's good. So I hate that combination because I'm kind of neither. He's kind of a jack of all trades that comes with stuff. I have tried every Mountain Dew that has come out. The only one, oh man, this leaked all over the orange. Crap. That's the vinyl dye too. It did not leak ugly. Maybe I'll retain and retard this. I can always try to duplicate the light patterning that came up here with this. I can do that. See, it didn't exactly stick. I have had Gamer Fuel. I've had a bunch. I've had all this stuff on Mountain Dew. I'm just not a fan of them messing with my Mountain Dew. There's no reason to do that. Mountain Dew is one of the perfect sodas. It was there before Surge. It was there after Surge. And Surge was my only thing I ever drank over Mountain Dew, to be honest. Until that disappeared. Then the other one came out after Surge. Not Jolt. I forget what the not Surge soda was that came out. That wasn't quite as good, but it was still a citrus soda. I love me some citrus soda. Surge is back though, Vaporeon. You are correct. And every time I find it in the dollar store, in the giant cans, I drink the crap out of it. I will be taking some with me to Georgia, just in case I can't get it. I thought about going down there though, maybe drinking nothing but Pepsi products just because I could. That would be funny. With the Faco Markov of Mountain Dew. I haven't found a Mountain Dew knockoff that I much care for yet. I didn't even like the full Mountain Dew classic old sugar one. That was awful. You get shot. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'll drag come up out of the woodwork if I go down there with a bunch of Pepsi shit all over me. Wouldn't be too hard. I got a bunch of friends that work for Pepsi. I'm pretty sure I could borrow all their shirts and hats. Just can't get them back. Stretch the living shit out of them. It'd be worth it walking down there in Pepsi gear all over the place. Mountain Lightning. Yeah, that's tolerable. I've had Mountain Lightning. It's tolerable. But put it this way, Mountain Dew I think is good enough that it's the only diet soda I can actually stomach. Yeah, same thing here, homely. I don't even know how much I'm going to drink when I'm down there because it's going to be hot, and it's going to be sweaty and awful, and maybe some gin and tonics or something like that. But I'm probably going to be bringing my own supply of fuzzy waters and things like that to keep on ice and stuff. Yeah, I've had Mexican sodas. Walmart sells some of those. I've had Mexican sodas from Mexican stores, and that's kind of like taking your life in your hands. At least Japanese sodas aren't, like suddenly it's like, oh, this looks good, and all of a sudden it tastes like someone just spilled a shitload of sour and chili in the damn thing. Japanese sodas are pretty light in flavor and taste, kind of like lightly watered, like really like watery, fuzzy kind of shitty fruit juice. It's like not overly sweet. It's weird because you start checking that stuff like we really do like 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 our sweets in America. That's for damn sure. Oh boy, does our sugar is prevalent in everything. Sometimes you just think there's no balance to it either. There we go. Okay, I gotta leave that on so I can clear coat it and not mess up the back. Thumpy says there's a hookah bar near me. Well, geographically, that I like to frequent, and they have Middle Eastern sodas. There's a fair amount of English on them too, which threw me at first. I didn't know there were sodas from another country until you look at the bottle. And yeah, they do have the bubbly fizzy stuff in there too. And I'll tell you that's a surprise. That's a surprise. It was much better than I thought it was, man. So that's just rough. But yeah, the Middle Eastern soda, there's some kind of orange flavor, like uh, Fanta or something like that. God damn, it was really tasty. How much do I typically charge for commissions? Well, it depends on what it is. Something like this, because of the amount of work that goes into it, all the little detail and the stuff like this, and the shotgun and stuff I made is a good example of that. They start about $50. I mean, my pistol, like I could make pistols and stuff like that, and just basically small amount of paint and stuff, but detailed things like this. There's no spring in this, and it's up. It's just these go $50 because this is an intolerable amount of work to get this made on here. This was a lot of damned work, and I didn't like that. Like I love doing the wood grain, but the way it turns out in the long run, it is just brutal to sit here and make. It takes a long time. My basic pistols, you've seen them maybe on Instagram. I post them up for what it cost me to ship it from here to California and then around it. So I can't quite remember. I think I post most of the pistols for about 40, but that's usually because of shipping on there. I can always work with you on prices of things, and like I said, it also depends on what you want. I mean, if you want a fire strike, that's pretty quick and easy. I can bang that off fast. This was a lot more work than a fire strike. I will not disclose how much this commission went for, and as part of a larger commission, actually, I have to work up a Magnum Super Drum like a madman, 2 of them, and brass the living daylights out of 2 Magnum Super Drums. So that's going to be nuts. I was kind of hoping to have that done this week, but I don't think that's going to happen. I got to get the other part off there. Yeah, well, my whole idea with pricing, and I got a buddy of mine that gives me hell about this. So something of mine was recently posted up for sale. And I said, Christ, I should change my pricing policies. And he, without hesitation, just was like, yeah, you need to, dumbass. My whole thing with pricing is that I know, like, if you go to Drac or something, or one of these guys, this shit gets expensive. Let's face it. I mean, like, you thrift most of the blasters that you end up putting up. I mean, if you're buying a $30 Strife and then putting all the stuff on, yeah, I can see why getting all that together and things would be pricey. But like for a buddy double shot, I mean, you thrift it for a dance. Oh, pigs don't dance, buddy. It's $1 a dance. I have a problem with pricing on things in the community. Like, I think people just get out there on things at nuts, and unfortunately, it kind of makes me drop my prices because I honestly think I should be charging more for a lot of stuff, but I can't because I'm in between wanting to sell it and get the commission and not scaring the person off, and I typically tend to undercut myself quite a bit. Okay, so now we get to figure out what color. I know what color. I know what color already. Oh, what the hell did I do it? Hello? hello. Well, something like a Z-Strike, double strike, with the Maverick grip replacing the grip and is already. Oh, God, there goes old eyes. What about something like a Z-Strike, double strike? I love those. With the Maverick grip replacing the grip, it has already and what? Impossible to extend the barrel in additions to the barrel. Oh, well. I'm trying to bring a bunch of stuff to End War. That's the game right now, homely. Well, I put this guy up for sale. And I don't know what the hell is going on with that. That's weird. For some reason, that's sticky. I guess something's leaking through. Oh, well. This I think I put up for 30 or something like that. It was built on a proof of concept. It was the barrel is brassed, but with a little wiggly, you can remove said. Maybe not. I might not be able to get it. I didn't design it the best. Kind of screwed it up a little bit. I meant to leave a notch in here to be able to fish this out, but I didn't do it. There we go. You can pull this out, and then you can reach in here gingerly and pull that out. And then it'll shoot megas, albeit not the best, but it would work. Well, it was a proof of concept. It's all hand painted, so the paint, you can see the paint is not even. It looks like a child painted it, but I left the whole thing like that because that's just the way it's going to be. I didn't care about it. It was a proof. Like, it was going to be something better, and I decided I just needed to end up being a project to distract me, so it was proof of concept after that. But this ended up being like that. So I have a better system already and designed to use to shoot regular darts too now. But you can shoot regular darts or switch it out to megas. This was 30. If I was to do this in real life, it'd probably be up closer to 40 or something like that. Maybe higher, because this is a integration was a kind of a bitch. I don't know if I have any more of these parts laying around. That's not the original front end. But yeah, with the Maverick, does it already have? Let's try this. Or does it already have the Maverick handle on it already? Let's try that. What was I doing? Oh. Yeah, see, I do too, and I'm Edward. I see that too, and I get a little like, I know I could charge more, but I can't charge more. I just can't. I'm going to have to learn to do that. But the fact I can whale them off pretty quick isn't so bad. Right now, I've been doing pretty good on. I got stacks of stuff, so that's the wrong paintbrush. Oh, where's my good paintbrush? Where's my good paintbrush? There we go. It's actually a bad paintbrush. Makeshift items that would work as a plunger tube seal. Well, Faceless Legionnaire, first hollow it out. Technically, the only thing you need on the inside of that, you only need the stops and stuff on the inside to hold that in place. So if you leave enough of this here, you might be able to get the majority of the Maverick handle around it or over it if you cut your strip down here and leave it in. Now, I would use the methacrylic glue to bond it down to the handle really, really well, because that strip's gonna need enforcing. But you can also always measure it out and put the basing piece back in here for it. Makeshift plunger seal. Yeah, well, there's a couple of different things that can use for that. What are you trying to seal for a plunger tube? There, because we used to use drain plugs at one point. Leather discs also will work if you can get them cut and set into the right diameter. Washers. Take a metal washer, like and you take a rubber washer, like and then another metal washer on the other side of that. So you have rubber washer, metal washer, metal washer on a sandwich. Make a sandwich out of it. And you should be able to, provided you can find the proper rubber washer, it makes a skirt seal. So the thing to do with it's actually better to use they're called fender nuts. You put the washer on one side, metal washer on this side, and your rubber seal on the other, which is just a big flat O-ring, being a big flat rubber washer. And it's one of the ones with the regular size hole in it, not the giant size hole in it, but the little hole in it. And you can find them. They're just disc washers. Oh, hey, probably just talking about to you a while ago. They need to find, I think it's called a fender washer. Instead of being a regular flat small washer, it has a beveling lip on it, so it's kind of cupped. That way, when you put this here against the flat washer, and then you have the rubber washer up against it, and then you have the little cupped washer. My hands don't bend quite like that. You have the little cupped washer up against that. It'll take and press in and cause it to go. Causes the rubber washer to go like this. It's not necessarily. We used to use. Sometimes you use two of them, depending on your spring loads. You might have to use two anyways. It'll take this and cause it to cut. Takes the rubber washer and causes the cup. And what that will do when you push, it goes in and makes sure the washer will rip against the sides and expand and catch the air, and it'll hit the metal washer in the back, and it won't be able to just flip over the edge of the washer. So, and then when you pull it forward, the rubber washer goes like this, and you'll pull it back to prime it, and the rubber washer goes like this. And when it goes forward, the washer goes like this. It's called a cup seal. Caliburns, I believe, make use of them. It's an old school tech. You could find all that stuff on what used to be a Nerf Haven at some point, but I don't know how easy it is to find anymore on a Nerf Haven, or even if a Nerf Haven do anymore. Well, thank you, Faceless Legionnaire. I hope I can live up to those guys. Out of that list, Walcom was the one that kind of got me. I used to watch his videos and not know who he was. He was just a hand. Oh, it's a Nerf barrel. Place it. Boom blaster. I'm trying to convert regular darts. Well, you shouldn't have to mess with the seal in a Boomco. The seal should be pretty good. Did you lose the plunger head on your Boomco blaster? Is that what happened? Or did you cut it off trying to put a K26 onto it? Didn't get not enough paint. God, it's even starting to warm up down here. Ugh. I don't like heat. Yet I'm going to Georgia. Heavy starts first. Took around. Yeah. Landgrave is personally responsible for me buying the first blaster that I ever wanted to mod. And I still have it. I just never bothered to paint it. I always wanted to paint it. Just never have. It's what the heck is it? Oh, what the heck was it? It was this piece of 8. His piece of 8. He was selling a bunch of his stuff. I asked him about that, but that turns out that was a gift for a friend of his, so he didn't have it. It's kind of sad because I had quite a bit of money I was willing just to spend on that one shitty revolver. Rotator 8. That's what it was. A Lanyard Rotator 8. Aesthetically great, but their insides are intolerably miserable towards any type of modding. Yeah, did you? I didn't ask you. It was not leaking. For you guys, yeah. Did you break your plunger head? Is that what happened to your blaster? Where's Boom Tendo when you need him? Damn it! You were on here. I saw you. This is a Boomco question. Well, back in the day, those were cheaper to get than Nerf. And they had a lot of really neat looks to them. So, if you were going to paint things, and leave it pretty much at that, you weren't going to spend $45 on a stupid bow. I mean, the other ones are easy. Clownius Maximus. Should have made a character called that. That would have been cool. Could have made a gladiator character in City of Heroes. Clownius Maximus. Though it sounds like something that already might have been taken. That's one of those good names. Well, since I've been doing really shitty over the last couple of days, let's just tell you how it goes. I have been having no luck on the job search, and furthermore, my paperwork for for Medicaid and stuff like that was rejected because of some paper I forgot to put into it. And I have been trying to figure out how to fill this crap out, and I can't. And I had a discussion with a family member who is trying to be helpful, but in the long run, doesn't have the best of way of doing it. And I ended up that was over the holiday weekend. It pretty much sucked any ability out of me to want to move over the last couple of days. Since then, I lost mojo because it put me in a slump. The conversation never goes well, and I was waiting for it. Always happens right before we're getting ready to leave. Meaning well and tactful are not the best bedfellows all the time, I guess. But now, yeah, I've not been luck with many jobs lately. Maximus, mostly good cause. Barrel. I took out the old barrel and put one in that would shoot elites. Well, you shouldn't barrel shouldn't have a problem to mess with a plunger seal. Did you take the old plunger tube out? Is what you mean? Because just rebarreling it won't do anything about the plunger unless you really committed to it in some weird way. I know my next job that I'm after. Job for. Yeah. See, it was just the opposite up here. I went to a job fair, and there was a shitload of people for a bunch of really shitty jobs. And I don't mean like shitty, I mean really shitty jobs. And they were like ES3 and Verdelli Farms and pack and ship and things like that. The places that chew you alive are out here. And I got I couldn't even, I can't apply to those things. I'm a broken, fat old man. I can't handle that stuff anymore. Shot weird darts. Okay, so why are you changing the plunger then? You're confusing me. If you're not asking about plunger, you're changing plunger, so that's kind of got me. If you're just changing it to shoot regular darts, all you need to do is just change the barrel material to PVC or CPVC or PTEG or brass, and that will work just fine. Things like far shots are amazing for shooting Nerf. They're amazing for shooting Boomco too, but I don't have a readily supply of that as I used to. Yeah, well, that's the way it was at the old Wally World for a while. I mean, I don't even. I don't know why. Like, this end war trip is definitely what I would call ill advised by very many reasons. It's going to be expensive to go down, even with Pirate Johnson helping travel along the way there. But it's going to be expensive. So I have to make sure I got a bunch of crap I can sell up. So hopefully I'll be able to make a little money while I'm down there. And that goes back to the whole pricing thing. That's why my shit is low. Oh, and I might get lucky anyways. Hello, Socks. Turns out I learned something today. Did you know that when you ship stuff to England or the UK, they import tariff fees and stuff on them? Did anybody here know that? Do you know the frickin' tax on those things can be really stupid expensive? I found out today. Yeah, I am too. It's going to be a long trip. I figured 12 hours on the way down I could do being hard, and I could just hard ass up and drive down there. But 12 hours on the way back would probably end up being a hotel room somewhere in some fleabag town, which is necessarily not a problem for me. I really don't give a crap about, overnight hump motels and places like that. They're usually cheap. You just don't take any of your luggage inside. You take only what you need. And you take it in baggies. That way you don't get bugs in it. Yeah, apparently does something like that too. I think they have to pay tax on your shipping. So the winner of the contest box showed up at my door about a week ago, and I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on, and had a little bit of trouble getting a hold of her. But then again, everybody's got a life, And she got back to me and explained to me how the UK apparently has taxes and things on it. So now I gotta. Oh, would have been a little wet. Now I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with an Infanus. Because I have a new inbox twice of Infanus. I paid money for it to ship it, and the money for it. I might auction that off at End War. I figure any money I get out of that wouldn't be so bad if I can just figure out where the hell I put my tickets. I think it'd be pretty good. You could win an Infanus. And no, this one will not be for a charity auction. It'll be a me charity auction. That's for damn sure. Because I do have a charity blog. And my live streams are slowly turning into things that I show off stuff I'm working on instead. Because I don't have a spoiler. I'm going to give you guys a spoiler. I'll give you a spoiler here in a minute. Let me finish touching this up. I don't have the time to paint it up. I really would like to. I think it'd be really cool, and I could really have a lot of fun with that body on that thing, but I don't have the time to paint it up. I have to get this commission done, and I have to get the Magnum Super Drum done so I can acquire that money for the trip, because that money is going to come in handy. So I have to get that done, which means I got to get a hold of, with this money for this one, I have to use that to buy the brass, and then brass 80 barrels on a Magnum Super Drum, as well as do body work. And I think paint it, but we're gonna have that discussion. I believe I was wondering about that. Yeah, I definitely could. I don't know how well I'm gonna have time. After End War, actually, it looks like I'm gonna have a couple different commissions, which will be actually not so bad. Let's see here. Where's the other half? So, I wasn't happy with the theme of End War this year because, frankly, I really just don't like Harry Potter. Oh, my proudest build? Well, despite that it doesn't work properly, End War Blaster. Gallagher, I love that. That's probably my I'm proud of that. I have to say right now though, it's definitely gonna be the Cannondale, because I haven't been able to top that with anything I've gotten finished. I don't know what a Hufflepuff is. It sounds fruity and not like candy, just like too many scarves and umbrellas. Also, really, you're using a turkey pan or the grill to get the god awful salt off the orange parts. Yeah, a Rapid Red ain't much far from that for sure. Pay Hufflepuff is when you pay for a girl. So I don't get lobster. Nice. Okay, that's good. I love my cannon. I gotta bring my sword with me too. I gotta remember to bring that. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna set everything up. So, where was I? Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay, so I decided. Oh, what the hell is that? Scratch. It won't come out. That sucks. Oh well. I don't much care. Harry Potter was a shitty wizard. He's a shitty person, kind of, by the way, too. If you look at some of the other theories to go with it, waiting for the viewer thing to drop on this. So you end up. I decided I was going to do a Rapid Red, and I didn't know what the hell I was getting into with that, because Oh god, it was miserable. There was a lot of crap involved in a Rapid Red, but I ended up only show one side of it here because the other side is awesome. So anybody that watches get a sneak peek on that. I did a Slytherin Rapid Red. Now the other side is much cooler, and I wanted to put that over here, but I can't. So I have to change this to green. That's got to be green, and I think the front plate is going to change color too. But yeah, there. If anybody's ever done one of these, there is no, and I mean no, damn room in here at all for anything. I mean that switch just that was a nightmare. I can't even glue it in, but luckily because I cut it well enough and smart enough to tuck the wires the way I did, it doesn't move. When you put it in, it doesn't move, so I don't have to worry about gluing it at least. But it was a nightmare. It flat out was a nightmare to get in there. I'm looking forward to getting rid of it when I have the opportunity. This will be auctioned off. And cut this. Yeah, the Canon actually has another sword to make for that thing too, but that's a project thing into FoamCon to help you set up. Yeah, I'm kind of like you're kind of like my magical assistant. Yeah, you are definitely. Well, you sent me something there, but it's gonna mess with things. It always does. Yeah, you are definitely going to be getting into FoamCon early to help me set up something I forgot to discuss. Uh, just grab another. You get in there, get around, get a hold of stuff that nobody's got yet, and get in and schmooze with the other people. Dobby. Yeah, that one is. I actually had a smaller switch for that thing, but unfortunately, I used it on another project because I didn't have any of the good switches like that size that I had gotten. So that is a bigger. It's kind of your basic size switch. I could definitely use any help I can get to have people sending me stuff along the way. That's for damn sure. Okay, Josh sent me my link for the thing for the R. Sleep that day won't be necessary. I actually don't have to travel too heavy with anything I got to take down because well, I'm not bringing anything to play with, to be honest. The first End War damn near killed me. The second one, had a plan that went to hell. I'm just hoping that this one doesn't turn out to be a cursed trip at all. End War turns out to be a cursed trip. I'm never attempting it again. And once is bad, three times is. If it goes bad three times, the hell with this. And then we'll be done with it. Unless it is really close. But yes, I will not be actually attending into the End War itself. I don't even know if I'm going in that day. I might stick around the house and do nothing. There's a good chance of that. Although I have a plan. Oh, God. There we go. I have a loose plan for filming though, which I'll probably end up putting into sleep and putting into effect. Trying to get my mine's gone to shit when it warmed up. Cursed convention. Oh, that'd be about right. Oh, the convention's fine. It's the day after the war itself. Yeah, well, it's expensive. Don't worry about it. Rear guard. Yeah, I asked some questions about rear guard thing I mean, you can, apparently they have the whole water thing maybe figured out with people not hanging around the water thing. But for what I was planning, it actually would pay to hang around the water areas and things like that. Basically, just interviewing random people throughout the course of a day, looking at their stuff as time went down, asking them different things and stuff like that as the day goes, and then editing it together in one long video that was jumpy and incoherent style of the same question. So I kind of need to work up like a question list. If I could, God, this microphone. I was thinking of taking a mobile wagon around for water, which I thought would be pretty cool. But at the same time, like, I'd probably need most of the water myself just to drag it. That looked pretty good. I like how this paint doesn't really stick paint as well. So you'll wind up with this nice translucency. I think if I was just rolling around with stuff, I'm not going to have a problem with it. I mean, what's rule one? Don't be a dick. I wouldn't be bothering anybody. I mean, if I just hang out at the water stations, I can talk to people as they're chilling out, taking a break. That'd be cool. I don't think anybody's going to have a real problem with that, especially if I'm definitely a non-combatant. So I'm considering waiting to stay ahead of it. They can always use scouts for damned sure. Because the Zeds have scouts. They always can use scouts. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I might not just want to get out of bed the next day after being at FoamCon. I'll probably end up taking a taxi back to the house too. It's a good thing you posted the address. No rascal scooters. Nope, they don't make armor for those yet. It'll suck to be the guy that gets tagged in a rascal scooter. I mean, like, nobody wants to be the guy that shoots the guy in the wheelchair when you're at the game, but somebody has to be the guy that shoots the guy at the wheelchair when you're in the game. That's just the way it's gonna be. Welcome to Nerf. 3K to the face. Oh. Way to earn that parking space. Oh, jeez. One of those camel water packs for the hikers. That's actually a really good damn idea to get yourself one of those. Now, all you really need is just a backpack and one of the bladders. So, like, the backpacks will cost you, like, you can go to Walmart, pick one up for like $10 to $20, but the bladders are like $5. So if you have a backpack, you can just stick the damn thing in there and you zip tie the little thing to the top of your pack to hold it in place, and then you're good. You can get away with that. And I saw people doing that at the first End War. They were walking around with bladders on their backs. Make it awkward to use the men's room. I'm making a sawed off cut down, I guess, rapid Guardian crossbow, sawed down Guardian crossbow, which is for a commission. Oh God, what that noise again? So much of that noise. I'm debating. That's what I'm working on. This is See, I'm good to go with that as soon as I think of it. I'm kind of stalling and not painting the turret. To my Molly. Yeah, I used to have Alice gear because I picked it up from the surplus store when it was when I was a kid. I got like just the regular Alice straps, but I don't have that stuff anymore. Doesn't fit. Sure as hell wouldn't now. But I actually like to get like a nice vest or something that would be good to use, but I don't play HVZ or have enough stuff for loadouts to do things like that. I'm kind of like most of the time, so I end up using like suspenders. I could make a nice pair of tactical suspenders, which is something I wanted to work on myself. I just never got around to it yet because when you get older, suspenders become a reality. Especially when you're running around trying to keep your damn pants up. It's hard to dodge bullets from 5-year-olds when you're trying to keep your pants from falling around your ankles in a public park. Not the best place to have your pants drop. Quite frankly, you're in front of grandma at work either, but that's a different story. That's a completely different story. Story altogether. A harness. Oh, homely, I don't think we're talking about the same thing here. It's a family channel, buddy. Enough. That's for the hand free. Well, I'm here to chat. I like to chat. I like to talk. It's been yapping, or me yapping, and you listening, because I can't hear you. Good night. Oh, tactical suspenders. Okay, see, there we go. You want to talk about wearing a harness or something, buddy? It's you're gonna have to ask somebody else about that because I only know one place I can buy harnesses around here, and that's Uncle Tom's Leather Shack. I don't want to go back in there. Didn't like going there in the first place. I don't like walking into a nice leather store with your sister and winding up in the sex section. It is on the right side of the river for that, but for the love of God, the love of sister, oof. Ooh, around it goes. That's what I was saying, pirate. About a harness there. We're gonna have to remember for sure to get a group picture with the boss. That's for sure. I think it was Homely's idea too. We got to talk to him to see if he's gonna do a Saturday night streamy thing up there. Get all of us together in the same room for that would be a lot of fun. Or a mistake. It could be both. It is Wednesday already. Yes, it is. That's exactly what I was saying because I got a war to attend on Saturday, and I need to have this commission done. I gotta get rid of that. How the hell did that happen? It's gonna be a bitch to mask that out. Crap. Oh well. Nope. No. Not the boss. He's not our boss. It's we're moderators on a big old channel. He's our boss. Wacom is the boss. We are moderators. So we call him boss. Because he's boss. It'd be nice to at least get a group photo with them. Because most of the moderators looks like they're going to be there. Or a good amount of them. Or a amount that's good of them. Not your boss. X ain't the boss. X gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. Fred ain't had it up on his channel yet. Hey, I'm bringing mine too. I'm gonna get everybody to sign it that I can. That's with me. Like I said though, I really want to get a band hammer made. A nice big hammer. And have that signed up. I'd like to give it to Wallycombe, but I think he's gonna fly. So like I don't want to give him anything that's gonna be detrimental to flighting. So it's like why when Xavier came up here, I had stuff to give to Xavier when he came to Penn State, and I did not give it to him because he flew. And I did not wish to impede travel for him by flying. There, I got that off, but I ruined the finish. Let me see, it looks like when it dries, maybe I can tag it. For a drone, I could drop a handful of darts on people. That would be kind of cool. Darts would be a good thing. Might just want to thank. Might want to think. I don't know what's. You know what? Rival balls might be a good idea for that. However, you're definitely with a drone looking for a weight differential or to have the mechanism in which order to dump. Or I guess in humans it would be the sphincter. But yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Dump a bunch of Vortex discs. Maybe they'll actually do something. Vortex was so cool. Dusting this with blue. I'll have to go back and check it. I'm getting a little dusting of blue on things because of this stupid Krylon. My own dumb decision in order to not wear gloves. I can patch up the areas that offend, I believe, with relative ease. Should not be an issue. Oh, let's see my legs. But I can't read half of that. The other half doesn't look like English. Coming right to the edge. There we go. Walrus Squadron. Nerfing Walcom style. Hey. Nerfing Walrus style. There we go. I should look into putting my camera for this kind of stuff on a head mount. You guys might be able to see a little better what the hell I'm doing. There we go. That'd be a bad idea. It's the glue gun time. Glue gun. Glue gun. Glue gun. Glue gun. Glue gun. Glue gun. Ba-da-bum. Bum, 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 bum. Blue, 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 blue. Just avoiding doing the turret. That's all that our cylinder. turret is the wrong explanation, actually, but turret. Delicious, delicious paint. Taste like awful. Now the question's going to be, do I try to clear coat this tonight, or do I bother to risk clear coating it tonight, although I have the clear coat in my pocket? Yeah, I think it's a really good idea, but at the same time, uh, I see a lot of posts and things in there and things that were the reason that like Nerf Haven didn't allow that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's your own personal army of headless chickens. They're still headless chickens. However, still his own army. And if they could get a large number of organization to bring an organization to it, it'd be pretty good. I'll have to give it that. I have a hard enough time getting people to listen to basic things when you nerf, like contact left, like watch your left flank when you go out and nerf regularly. Van James screams all that stuff, and when you play, and nobody listens to him. Of course, people don't listen to Van anyways, but that's a different story. You gotta listen and pay attention when you're running around out there. Oh, gotcha. Well, I don't know that kind of Japanese. The only Japanese I've ever heard are in cartoons that I shouldn't be repeating. And then how to count in Japanese to 10, no, to 99, because I can't remember the word for 100. You explain. I don't know much about the Murphing community IRL. Well, Xavier has the auxiliary. Auxiliary is a bunch of is a kind of like Evan Butler's page was before Evan Butler took the walk. So it's a good page to go on and pay attention. But unfortunately, uh, Xavier set up to get like his own personal kind of army thing to do, but it doesn't. I'm trying to think of a way to put it. Doesn't make me sound like an asshole. Uh, he has the auxiliary. He has his regular band of guys, and then he has the auxiliary. The auxiliary is partially the Nerf page and partially people that do. I don't know if that's going to work like that. Partially. Damn it. Put that down. It's kind of like your own little army. The whole idea is to be able to show up at an event and have auxiliary members ready to go, and part of that so he can have an army of people set, trained, and more or less ready to go with as he shows up. The problem is, like, you really don't get to. Oh my God, really, guys? Nobody really listens to directions and things when you're trying to tell people not to go through a doorway because there's a shitload of zombies on the other side. So that's pretty funny. Think of all the power of tactical unit without having the power of a tactical unit is what I'm kind of getting at. Like all the convenience of the tactical unit, but nobody is actually trained on how to do any of it, but everybody wants to be there and do it. Um, oh God, the word for that. I know what the word for that is, and I really hate to say it, but poser? Like an army of posers? Oh, it's going to come back to bite me. I know it. I just know it. I get the feeling most of it's made up of little children, though. So, I mean, little children make good targets. Everybody has a use. I'm a fat guy. I have a use. I hold up the back and keep the zombies from catching up to the people in the front. Be nice to a fat guy. Might save your life someday. Dick Weaves. I guess. I guess. No, there are people in it that are good at it and good at handling the stuff. So yeah, but there's probably the majority of them. According to most of the posts, look like a lot of dreamers. Like at one point, they wanted like this large communication thing to go around, and it's like we already have the internet, so it doesn't need to be necessary. Or the train circuit thing, so everybody can stay at each other's places and stuff. It's like, oh God. It's like when you go to your first Nerf battle and then you start your own club and like we need to get a piece of property so we can do this, and everybody's going to pay dues and we're going to get a bunch of darts, and so everybody goes through the same circle of stuff like that when they start a club, and then you start realizing that like nobody's going to pay dues, and if somebody's going to get darts, it's probably only going to be one guy that does all the darts and stuff because it's the way it works in real life. I'm sure that it's going to. I mean, there's definitely some kind of payoff. At the very least, the payoff to it is going to be that, you know, you easily find a bunch of people that have the same mindset and fun about stuff as you. So when you go somewhere, you're not just stuck in a crowd of people that you don't know much about them, and you can at least have the auxiliary as a jumping point or something in common to be able to, you know, get to talking and introduce yourself with people, which is always good to have something to talk about. I need more blue paint. Donk, donk. That way. There we go. I think I was going to paint them white. What did I do with the blue paint? Is that Thalos blue? Brilliant blue. Oh, I should read that. Ambitions will be the death. Oh, that's way too much. That's too much. God damn. Nope, that's a. Well, maybe not. I am. It's on thick. The pose. Posy. Oh, I was gonna. Oh, that's right. I know why I did this first. Because I'm avoiding that too. I forgot. There we go. Oh, I got a loose hair on here. Dang it. Come here. Oh, it's not a loose one, it's a bent one. One of those little rogue ones like that can cause a huge problem. It's not gripping it. Of course, it is like it. You're impossible to see. There we go. I really do like this blue. It's very blue. Very bright. It's blue. Thinking of some orange. Orange. It's my mop. We've never been apart. Oh, I could watch that movie tonight. I haven't seen that in a long damn time. I like that movie. Michael Richards. Apparently, there's just bloody shit sack. Let me touch that up. Trying to do it without having to touch anything up. Because I don't want to touch anything up. It takes more time. Of course, I'm kind of in the middle of Tokyo Ghoul right now. How are you going to start your own Nerf clan? How do I snipe? Do you hate when you're looking for sandpaper? Yeah, I just moved mine right next to me. I buy it and it disappears. Tactical. I buy it and it just disappears somewhere. So from now on, when I buy it, I just literally throw it on the desk and just leave it sit there. I have a huge stock of it, apparently, in some ethereal hole somewhere in space-time, and with my paint. I actually do want to start my own Nerf club. I just don't have the will to get it. I have two really good parks. One is Vic McDickers. Oh, God, I know. Right next to my house. And the other is, I can't remember what it is. It's out in it's about 45 minutes from me. Oddly enough, it takes longer to get home than it does to get there because of the way the road is set up, which is stupid. It's a quicker way, it's longer back than it is down, which is really dumb, but it has to do with one-way streets, apparently. But yeah, I have a really good park on a place that's a place called Wood Duck Lane, actually. I just can't remember the name of the damn park. And it is a great, I nerfed there quite a few times. I just have not gotten off my butt to try to set up my own club. And I've been playing with Blair County, watching them get built up and doing well for that. So I'll probably, I left my wallet upstairs too. Donk it. I'll have to order the sign tomorrow, I guess. That's good though. Yeah, I really wanted to have my own club started, but I play with Blair County and Altoona. And if I can ever get back in touch with them, the Berks County guys as well, who have a nice club that I don't see too much action from, though, unfortunately, or although I could be missing them. There is a Dauphin County club right next to me, literally like right next to me, but they have a lot of children for my taste. It sounds awful. And you rolling to FoamCon with my stock van speaker channel to remix track while comes to sound. I actually really need to get I'm trying to work on getting an opening set for my channel. It's nice. Oh, stupid McAfee blocking what I'm trying to read. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that yet. Tactical. Is Justin still coming to end, or I don't know. If you go to the DCNC, it takes longer to go back because of this traffic is terrible. There's a lot of kids with that one, though, unfortunately. Like I couldn't use my I feel bad about shooting them because there's just too many children I need if I can get adult rounds in them, I'd be good to go. Berks County's actually I played them a nice indoor war. They were a lot of fun. It's like on some video, the second channel where his are eating their cheese peanut spread because everybody misses Psych. Yeah, well, see, their limit's 130, but if you bring a 130 blaster, like, no, and more is like 135. So if you bring like a 130 blaster to it, though, you're still kind of above what little kids can take like that. I mean, technically you're within the club rights, but you're still hammering little kids with 130 feet. That I'm worried about hurting kids, and I don't have a lot of stuff I can play with that's not stock. Now they're doing outdoor wars now. They're outside, so I have to go attend one of the outdoor wars because now we have space to put between us and kids, so you don't have to worry about dropping, you know, darts on children that are right next to you in a small enclosed area. That's a problem with indoor wars. Everybody gets on top of everybody else, and then that foot cap that worked outside just doesn't seem to hold up so well inside anymore, as people are getting whelped because now you're really close. So they had one like the other weekend, but I didn't go because I was with weekending and family stuff. Probably should have went. Oh, that's it. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. I didn't realize you wore this. I'm actually working on your blaster, Mister uh, Dib Nation. Your name utterly escapes me at the moment, and I decided in the middle of it to try to just use your regular name thing on there because it's a better idea than giving real names out over the internet because creepy stalkers exist. Woohoo! Yes, I am working on your blaster. I have to talk to you. I'll have it done and ready by this weekend. It'll be ready to go and play with. I would suggest getting yourself another spring, something along the lines of a 7 kilogram. I would not max out with the brass I put into it. You're going to need to overcome that brass for sure. I would probably definitely not use a 7 kilogram though. Josh says a retaliator spring ought to work for it. I do not know though because I have never sprung one of these. So take his advice on it. Well, Pirate, I would bring yourself some extra wheels. Then maybe I don't have a way to test it for you, unfortunately, my friend. And the Wallcom hand test is pretty much stuck to the Wallcom. Tell me about it there. That's why I'm working on this now because payday can't come close enough. I'm going to need this to have some billing taken care of to buy stuff for End War, and then make the pre-order on the brass for your super drum, which might be done before End War. I don't know. That's a lot of brassing, and then the barrels. I mean, then everything else. Ooh, well, that's a problem. Isn't your shooting MAGA though? You're shooting manga darts. If you're worried, Pirate, I think I got. Well, that one, I get yours done. I get paid from you. I get go to Pep Boys and purchase more stuff to build more things like brass and stuff like that. So it's just a vicious cycle. I'm watching my ledger turn redder and redder. But Josh picked up some more blasters like this, and I picked up a commission off of Josh, which I feel may have been partly pity, but either way, it's a commission. So that is going to be actually another Rebel blaster, but I have to talk to him what he wants done with that. And I got another one of these to make. And these are nice. People like Guardian crossbows. Guardian crossbows are cool. The pistol, I didn't know how actually comfortable the pistol is. Well, you have to glue the shell down in the back, unfortunately. I ended up, as you can see, I'm actually quite proud of the, I'll show you what the paint looks like. No. You can always just go back and watch it, I guess. But yeah, I had to glue the shell down in the back on this thing because they don't go up all the way for some reason. I'm sure it's like they designed it that way. But no, if you're going to cut it down, it's like they didn't want you doing that or something. It's almost like they planned it. There we go. I like that blue more and more to look at it. Where was I on this thing? The Kraken Cyclone. The concave Inferno wheels, higher crusher, better contact on the top. I'll be having a set up with Valkyries. Well, what are the Kraken's 3S? You can always drop it down. Unfortunately, with those damn Busby cages and things like that, I never know what the crush is going to be on any of those damn things at all. Because for wars, because people don't use them. In the day, I run mostly black and red. Almost everything decks I have though are black. They are a lot of graveyard tech decks, dirty tricks involving graveyard, because that's the way I roll. I found some really good cards that I love to play with. The pictures are amazing, so I tend to continue to use those cards. Okay, that is all blue. Now, get that black back out here so I can touch it up. Well, I screwed it up. Then he killed the dog. and then I shall start some dry brushing, I believe. Should be a good idea. Isn't the league thing capped at 300? I think the league... Wow, is the league capped at 300? I'd be impressed if the league is capped at 300. Definitely keeping little kids out of the league. I'll tell you that much. I honestly don't like the league thing. That was a weird reaction. I honestly don't like the league thing. I think it's going to ruin our hobby. Although I am kind of looking forward to going there and watching some league play. Setting up a chair. Sitting down and watching some league stuff. That way I can say I was there when it happened. I watched the day our hobby died. That'd be funny as shit if Drax's major contribution to this hobby is killing it. Jesus Christ, again? Holy shit, they're like teenagers. God. For the love of Christ. I want to get a better headset, but then, like, you gotta hear that. I don't. Uh, I might be able to just scratch that loose there like this. That wouldn't be. That seems to come off pretty easy by doing that. Yeah, it'd be fun to watch the hobby turn into airsoft and sit back and just watch the entire thing turn into a damn paintball. I get the feeling that's gonna happen. Watch. We'll paintball and all the fun will be taken out of this again. Until last pass. It isn't. I think this is like a big league thing, but it's kind of like a test ground. I'm pretty sure that if this works, there's going to be a push for more league things at more large events. So, like Ragfest will have one. Penn State could even end up having one. Things like that. And I don't like the idea of this. This makes me sick. I enjoy our hobby. I don't want the super competitive bullshit come into play. And this was part of the stuff I was talking about when we started having, all this strife building and master racing of blaster parts. There's no need for it. Like, you don't need to make something insane, but now we've got a place to play with insane stuff officially. So that gives that more power. FoamCon, I'm guessing. Well, what was it? I wanted more FoamCon, so they wanted more FoamCon, so they cut it back 2 hours. Really? They actually cut it back? Why would they cut it back? The only thing I can think of is maybe new rule, new location. New location, new rule, because they probably have to rent it. So that might be different. Just due to location this time. I have to look into that one before I draw any solid thing on that. That's kind of a shame. That might be a location thing. That might not be somebody's fault. That might be the location policy. So that one I will reserve judgment on until I find out what is the deal with that. I do like how the actual war got stifled now, so it can be we can run our competitive stuff that was uber important to people, which is, I put a cash prize up. That's going to draw people's attention. Versus rule set for the tournament. This is PTA game type. Yeah. It seems like it's all being crammed together. Also seems a bit like it's being ran like Ragfest was, if I miss my mark. I think until Ragnar Oktoberfest was set up. Like you had you had the meet and greet, and you had like the day for the mission, some night missions, and then you had the BTA stuff the next day. So maybe there's something to be said about that too. Of course, I don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes. I know very little, actually, of what goes on behind the scenes, so I can only conjecture and make assumptions upon what I hear. Not blaming anybody, but usually my opinions or my thought process is usually correct. Because I don't see it the way other people do. I'm going to have to do something about that. That's just not wanting to clean up right. Don't roll up on that shit. Oh, I keep forgetting this is a thing too. I should watch his videos, but I don't. So I'm probably not gonna. I feel like maybe I should be doing that in white instead of light. It doesn't need white on it badly. Just might need to change the color. So, looks like End War has less missions this year. Then all of a sudden the Blaster Tag Association stuff just came up, huh? That's a trick question. That's a trick question, people. Because look at who's in charge and whose baby is what originally. So yeah, that's how they work. The bandanas go. If you're a zombie, they go on your head, and if you're a human, they go on your arm. Which, that's the way that works. But at the same time, like it's going to be Georgia like 1,000 degrees, so any bandana on your head or anything like that, you're bound to get shot. You're going to get nerfed, blastered. I don't think we should be using the term shot anymore. Maybe we should find a term for that. Darted, foamed. Kind of like getting foamed. Not so bad. Sounds kind of dirty, actually. I got foamed. Try brushing. Tagged. Yeah, tag. That's right. We already got a term for it. I forgot all about that. Tagged. How fun is that? I want to make up words too. Clipzine. I want to make up words, Daddy. Into the battles anymore. Yeah, actually, that seems to be the way I'm going. Like, I like playing. Don't get me wrong, I like playing, but the more I think about what's going on with the playing, the more I don't like what's happening to it. And I'm having fun really building stuff on this, especially with the older I get and the worse I get and the more my mobility drops. I can't get the same adulation for playing that I can when I'm modding. People like me when I'm modding. They don't want me on their team I'm the last one picked. You get the fat kid. Actually, the smart people actually pick me. Not usually first, but like, what was it? Making fun of a guy named Chops. Had a battle because he kept picking me. He's like, he stopped saying like the pity pick, and I'm like, hey, you pick other people first. He's like, I need somebody to sit and hold down the mid ground. Like, really? He's like, yeah, because that's what you do. He said, you hold down the mid ground. He said, everyone else runs up forward. He said, I need people to stay back and block. I'm like, oh, well, thanks. The vote of confidence. There we go. It's cool. Dry brushing is awesome. You're still watching? Oh no. I have to block you. Spoilers. Okay, where did that go? This is actually. I always either over or underestimate the amount of freaking paint. Dragging my microphone across my shirt. Time to get you up on all kinds of stuff when you're going down there because you get to be in the car with me for 6 hours and I don't shut the fuck up. I even talk in my sleep, motherfucker. Actually, I'm going to be trying to find a side room when we're down there. Side room with air conditioning. And I can put myself off from everybody else because if I get really exhausted, and I probably will by like the second day because my ass doesn't like other chairs, I will be snoring like a zombie chainsaw bear orgy. It will drive everybody nuts, I guarantee it. Y'all gonna hate me by the end of the friggin' weekend. I can refrain from chain smoking. Yeah. Luck of that is, right? Actually, Pirate, I'm a bit concerned. I gotta make sure I can drive your vehicle. I gotta make sure I can fit down your car so we can at least change off a little bit. YOLO. I don't know what that fits like. I haven't driven one of those. Belly is a problem. Belly gets in the way. Well, too much weight on that. There we go. Bring that up. There we go. This gets foggy. I hear the brushing sound in my sleep whenever I do the freaking wood grain blasters. Oh God, that makes me nuts. This is a difficult thing to dry brush. Get the colorant that I want on here properly. I gotta watch the angles. I'm gonna really make sure I get the right amount of paint on here. Found a new color combo. Get that gunmetal and that white on top of that. Makes a really nice. I don't know what, like some kind of metally kind of look to it. I forget what the actual, like a tin or something. It's nice. We'll find out though, Pirate, for sure. At the very least, I can keep you plied with energy drinks. Completely ruin diabetes. I am no friend of diabetes. I am no friend of anybody. Just do this. There we go. I'm gonna have a nice old sand off the floor, but I love Florida. I actually sit in my car rather strangely. Like, Dad taught me to drive in a Nissan Sentra, and it was you sit in there very stiff. Like, there was like very straight up and down. So like I don't have the whole ghetto lean or anything like that at all. Like, my car is right now, it lays back a little further than I want to. I keep messing with the seat, trying to get it into position that I really like, which is just more stiff. But then I get belly hit, and I don't want to do that in the morning. Belly's actually, oddly enough, it's been going down because I've been eating better food. So I've been feeling better about that because I get a little more room in my car. Really want to make sure I bring that edge up. This is less about dry brushing and more about getting the edge up on these. I want to make sure I have a nice edge definition on these, so I get that really good look to it. And the trick is just getting it balanced across this bottom crap. Yeah. Clean and lean soon. Nope. Never, ever, ever. There was a time when I was pretty good like that, but now I don't need all that mess. That's too much work. Just take for being able to tie my shoes easily. That'd be good. Okay. Oh, do I need to dry brush or anything else with that kind of color into it? I don't think I do. Restoration videos, God, yeah. I actually learned a couple bits of techniques from some of those things. Actually, I eat quite a few apples and oranges throughout the course of the day. Carrots and celery are good. I really do like vegetables. And I just bought some mushrooms. Actually, I bought quite a few mushrooms. I've been craving some mushrooms. Whatever is in them, I want to eat. I ran out of multivitamins, so I definitely have like a hardcore craving for some mushroom and some milk. And God knows I hate milk. Oh, cow titty juice. Don't like moo titty. Moo titty. Yes, mushrooms are delicious. I actually plan on cooking down some chicken legs and ripping them up for mushrooms. I have to find, I prefer to use thigh meat because it's easier to get at. But I know you do the whole vegan thing. The recipe works just as fine without the meat too. That's a fun part because mostly the mushrooms are just the stars of it. It very well could be craving protein because I eat. Well, no, it might be. I mean, I eat 2 eggs in the morning, and then let's see, 2 eggs in the morning, toast, maybe cheese if I have it. Haven't had it in a while because I got tired of buying it and watching it disappear. Because let's face it, it's cheese. Everybody likes cheese. It's great. Cheese is awesome. So, like, I haven't bought any cheese in a while, so I make 2 eggs on toast. I'll sit down, sometimes watch a video in the morning after I've done dishes and things. And that's off to maybe some kind of cleaning or a shower, and then I scrub the toilet before I take a poo. I'll clean the tub a little bit after I'm done. I don't do the cleaning I did when I first kind of moved in here because I got tired of doing cleaning. But I found that if I clean up after myself as I walk around and do things, I seems to stay with other people like handling cleaning stuff as well. I don't seem to make tracks. I'm not making foot tracks, mud tracks anywhere, so it works out pretty good. Gravy and milk. Ah, cool. See, and that's what I was thinking it might have been. Because I don't like milk. Ugh. So I ended up then supper. I don't get lunch. I drag some fruit down here with me when I'm working on stuff and munch at that. And then I get my buddy, and then I eat. Usually we got chicken legs. If it's chicken legs, I eat 3 chicken legs. I throw them. I used to cook them on the grill. Then I ran out of grill, so I used to cook them on the stove. It takes too long, so I put them on the. I got an air fryer. Fortunately, I've been leaving the skin on because if I don't, the air fryer kind of fucks them up without the skin on them. So, like, I get a lot of extra grease, but I eat 1 or 2 pieces of skin and throw the rest out. I'm trying to just not eat the skin, but the skin is good. Is the good part. But you gotta leave the skin on for the air fryer because if you don't, it messes them up. And I don't want to salt them, and I don't salt them, and I don't what is it? I don't salt my eggs. I don't use salt anymore. Doctor says don't use salt, so I don't use salt. Just there's some things you gotta put salt. Like if you eat fries, you gotta use salt. You gotta salt fries. There's no way around that. You gotta get used to eggs with no salt too. That was fun. That was fun, but I eat a huge pile of vegetables with that then too, like those bird's eye steam bags. I usually eat about half of those, which is like, it's supposed to be like 3 servings in those. So I eat a serving and a half of vegetables, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. I just eat a ton of vegetables. I seem to be much healthier. Like, except for like the last week or 2, I kind of had a breakdown and went back to old habits. So, like, I can tell when I'm feeling better because things like walking up the stairs is a lot easier on me. Yeah, salt sucks. 2 big jars of Sam's Club brand peanut butter. It's thicker and has a high sugar content. And I try to keep. I bought peanut butter. My roommate's favorite thing to munch apparently is peanut butter. So when I went to get my peanut butter, it was gone. So I don't buy peanut butter anymore. So that's a thing that happened, and that's a thing now. Steak. Yeah, yeah. It takes me a while to like when I go to, speaking of drinking sodium, I'll go to what is it, like I get my brass from the hardware store, then I'll buy these gourmet sodas from a couple different companies. Like I have to get, it's the only place I can get them. It's the only place I consistently buy or drink soda. It's usually once a month, and I'll buy a couple of them when I'm there. I make it because it's like I gotta get them. I have to get them because I don't get in there often enough, and I can keep them around the house. With peaches and cream. Actually, I got one sitting here. Palisades, this Rocky Mountain shit's amazing. Peaches and cream, and there's an orange cream. Their creams are just amazing. This is just delicious. My favorite one is a company. I can't remember the name of the company. The drink is called Lemonade. It's amazing. It's orange soda and lemonade mixed together, and it's got all this communist stuff on the outside of it. The soda of the proletariat. It's hilarious. I had originally bought it just because the bottle was hilarious, and it was called Lemonade. And I'm like, I have to buy this. And it quickly became one of my favorite things to drink. If I remember, Pirate, I will grab some like a day or two before, because if I buy them ahead of time like that, I tend to drink them. And they don't last because they're only 12 ounces. I love peanut butter enough. I get a container with a lock on it. I like to get the what do they call it? Peanut butter, the honey peanut butter, honey roasted. That's what I like to get. Although I don't eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches often anymore. I like to have it around to cook with. Surfers on Acid. Favorite mixed drink. I'm going to have to look up Surfers on Acid. Yeah, the whole, they have then there's the Jones sodas or whatever they are. They make things like Kitty Piddle and Zombie Brain Juice. Totally gross sodas. Avery's. They've had quite a few. Wow, they've had quite a few really, really good. So like Unicorn Yak. Oh man, Unicorn Yak is really good. But to order a case of Avery soda is really expensive. At least from them. I haven't checked the beer distributor yet. I might be able to get it through the beer distributor kind of cheap than having to order it through Avery's. Oh, Jones Soda. God, Jones Soda stuff is brutal. They used to make a pineapple upside down soda that was just, it was killer. It was so good. It was so good. I kept buying it, and then it just disappeared. It just disappeared. That's what Jones Sodas does. They get you hooked on a soda, and they're like, we're done. We're not making this anymore. Screw all you. You can lick it. Just like Sobe. Sobe. Oh, God. Liquid crack. Could never get enough Sobes. No matter how many I drank. Things are so good. Where's God damn it, I'm starting to get hungry. Is Jaeger coconut rum and pineapple juice. Jaeger coconut rum and pineapple juice. That sounds like it's going to hurt you. That sounds painful. I'm assuming that's over ice, Boomtendo, correct? Because if that's straight, that's going to be a rough. It'll be good, but I guarantee you that's a headhunter. Yeah, nice. Tall glass or low glass? It's a low glass. That sounds like a tall glass. Pineapple juice. The finish is probably Jaeger and coconut rum. Probably a measure of each, and then probably a measure of tall glass full of ice. Figure measure Jaeger, measure rum, pineapple juice. I bet you it's a 1-to-1 to 3-part fill. I usually have most of that stuff around the house too. I ate that pizza, and I really feel like I should eat something else. Yeah, I thought so. That damn shot though. My sister ordered in a bar. She ordered some kind of drink in a bar, and a bartender just started mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing. And I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" The guy's like, "It has 32 different parts in it." I'm like, "You're fucking kidding me." She's like, "No." I'm like, "Andrea, why did you order that?" She goes, "I don't know. It just sounded good." I'm like, "Dude, yeah, I got a pretty good tip for making that. They were really good, but I'm gonna make the poor bastard mix another one." That's an insane drink. Half a shot of this, half a shot of this, half a measure of this over ice and shaken back out. Just a lot of shit. You had to check to make sure he had everything. Oh, God. Uh, 1 ounce of each. Yeah, that's what I thought be a measure. Or I think ounce is less than a measure. Damn, I never can remember that. I think a measure is 2. I think a measure is 2 ounces, if I remember correctly, or an ounce and a half. It depends on what side, I guess. Oh, my butts. Oh, I think I've done enough of those to stall. I have a feeling I should paint that white in there because this is getting white around it. I think I'll use that blue. Make that the secondary color for sure. Watch that. See, this is where you make a mistake and dip your damn paintbrush in the wrong thing, and you screw everything up. Which one? There's Berks County, which is down by there's DNC, Dolphin County Nerf Club, and I think you're familiar with that. There's also Altoona Nerf Club, oddly enough and conveniently in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And then there's the one I frequent the most, well, I'll probably be frequenting the most, is my buddy Josh's club, because the field's more attuned to what I'm playing, and that's Berks County. That's Blair County Nerf Club. They're actually going to have a war this weekend, and I will be attending. If I remember correctly, it starts at noon, it starts at noon, goes to about 4 or 5, and it's about 2 hours away from here. It's up in Penn State area. It's well worth the drive. It's an easy drive. It's nice and straight. I mean, I don't remember how close you are here, but you got a couple of bucks for gas. I could take you along. Can always use somebody in the car with me. It's always fun to terrify a passenger. It's always fun to terrify an innocent bystander going 65, 90 up the highway, counting the dead animals on the road. You'd like Josh. He's a good guy. He looks like Happy from Iron Man. We call him Dad. He's actually a good nerfer. Good painter, too. does a lot of fade coats with spray paint. Knows his wiring and stuff, which is important. His paint jobs are simple and quick, but they are nonetheless amazing. He is really good with fades on blasters and came up with some really cool stuff I didn't even know was around. Took a strife, put it up inside the most part of a, what do they call it, a shot blast. That was cool. That made a really cool sound when it shot too. The shot blast sucks up some of the noise. Gave the strife a good look. I was impressed with that mod. He's got a current strife. It's pretty. Built a body kit on it himself. Supplied the Ingelsteads with their stuff for their thingamabobber that they did out there. He made their parts for them. It's a pretty good commission for him, I guess that would be. I'll be leaving here on Saturday for a trip for that. You don't mind riding with the creepy old man? You can ride along. Just a little bit of gas money would be appreciated. Or we can talk. Well, I'm still painting the little fine parts here, so I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime yet. It's coming up on 9, so I'm not sure how much longer, but I still might. Be up. Sure, I get the under part. Well, I don't know. It could be pretty creepy. I can be pretty creepy, or I can be pretty normal. You don't know till you're in the car with me. And you'll just have to find out. Won't ya? Which reminds me, I gotta get my camera working so I can record some footage for the trip. I bought a dash cam, and it's a good one. The only problem is it films with two angles. Now I know there's a way to separate them, but it won't. My computer won't read them. So I have to find a way to get a reader that will separate the files so I can have left and right. That way I can just isolate the one side so I can have road footage. I mean, the whole thing was to buy it and use it for a GoPro. It's got a great resolution and a huge battery. How do you feel about candy? Oh, God dang it. I got blue on here, too. Gonna have to patch that. Bummer. How do you feel about candy? Money. You can put your hand on my knee if you want to. I don't have a problem with that. Giggity, giggity, giggity. It's a free space. Well, what do you consider fun size? Fire edition, Russian dash can card edition. I know why you have the full size candy bars. There's a whole explanation to why they call it fun size, and I figured it out. It's because of the size that it is. Now you're like, duh, clowny, and I'm like, no. Here is your explanation. Full size candy bars are obviously full size candy bars, and they are awesome. All right. Then you have the bite-sized candy bars, which are bite-sized. But why would they call it fun size? There's nothing fun about a shrunken candy bar. I mean, kids might think it's fun because it's still a candy bar, but kids don't know shit from candy bars, so they just know candy. The reason it's fun size because it's just the right size to be able to throw at somebody. It's not too small. You're not going to throw a full size candy bar. That's a waste of money. But you might throw one that's a little smaller and be able to get that over on somebody. That's a lot better idea. So yeah, that's why they're fun size because they're small enough to actually throw. That's why they call them fun size because it's fun to hurt people with candy bars. If they're the small ones, there's nothing they can do about it. They just don't. They're not the right size for throwing. Not quite gone yet. Not quite gone yet. And all of a sudden, I see Pirate laying on the ground, just like, not quite going yet. Just won't die. Pirate, just take your fucking bandana off, will you, buddy? Come on. God, he's such a going drama queen, turning into a zombie. You know. Drama queen zombie. Oh yeah, well, I actually wonder if pedophiles buy full size candy. Is their thought process like on buying candy for like give out the like the children? Do they? Is they're just gonna take them back to the van and drug them anyways? Do they really like? Is it new candy? Do they buy candy and recycle it? I'm sure some of the kids get some buy like real decent candy, not like that Halloween bag full of brancher stuff that nobody likes to freaking eat. And like, I mean, hey Rodney, oh boy, did you pick a good time to go in. I, I'm trying to figure out exactly how pedophiles budget for their candy. Like, do they use full size candy? Your job right, you only have to kind of get one or two of them before like the kids get roofied and touched. So, like, what's the deal? Do you? I mean, like, do they buy like them by bulk? Is there like they sit there and agonize over what candy to get? I mean, like I only got a five. I need to like get better candy. I mean, I thought you already did tattooing, Rodney. I thought you already did. See, well, this is gonna bother me for like a day or two. I'm pretty sure I starts me for candy. Yeah, like why the hell would you bother buying full size Butterfingers anyways? They're just gonna break up and get stuck in your teeth. Butterfingers should come with toothpicks and shit. Did you buy your equipment yet, Rodney? I got equipment for sale. I gotta get rid of my damned equipment. I thought you already learned how to do that once. The finite details of it. I'm gonna have to have this conversation with my buddy to figure out how he thinks how pedophiles budget out their candy because he won't leave his head either. That's not necessarily a bad idea. Rebel fun. Yep, rebel fun. The discussions of budgetary means of candy bars versus people that buy vans or just one van with no windows. Longer to grind out one truck behind the unmarked van on the street. I got got the bow arms over here. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. They're probably going to wind up on something. Well, Rodney, if you change your mind or you decide to go rogue from your boss a little bit, I got stuff for sale. I'll let it go pretty cheap, including a damned autoclave. No, rotary ones are fun, but I got an autoclave. That's a very important piece of machinery right there for you. For the price what you pay for a new autoclave, you can have all kinds of good stuff to go with it. We'll have to talk about that some other time because I have more questions about your tattooing education anyways. Then it's a completely different line of topic. I got to put a little bit of a second coat over this. I want it to be the new Better Butterfingers. Better Butterfingers? I didn't know they had a Better Butterfingers. What the hell do you do a Better Butterfinger? Is Bart Simpson schlepping Butterfingers? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. I don't watch The Simpsons like anybody else anymore. I'm going to have to look into Better Butterfinger. I don't know if I want to eat one, though. I had one of those Reese's, Freddy Reese's things. That was bad. Yeah, it took a dark turn. It took a very educational turn. These are questions people don't ask. They need to be answered. I mean, you have to ask these questions at some point in your life. Everybody has these kinds of thoughts, and you have to figure out exactly what's going on. Everybody needs to know these things. Especially when you turn to your boss in the middle of an aisle. You make weird comments. Whole little thing with the damn ping pong balls. That was a fun one. God, I loved asking those questions. That was a blast. Ping pong balls. We got all these. Worked at Walmart, as y'all well know, and you got these ping pong balls in. And there were lots of them. I mean, lots of them. They just came the hell in and jumped there. After about or there was a lot of. I mean, I'm not even going to get into this. It was half of them like in 2 weeks. 6 packs of ping pong balls, and they couldn't put them down there. Well, my buddy, him, he worked at a grocery store, and he was like, "What the hell are we supposed to do with these?" And he's like, "I got an idea, boss. Don't worry about it." So he took them over to the Solo Cup aisle and sold them out. They gave him a raise. More peanut butter tasty, different textures since they're made slightly buttery. I like the mystery flavor of whatever bugs they use to make them. Not so much about the peanut buttery flavor. It's that buttery kind of mystery covering up the insect taste flavor that's in them. That's what's got me interested. And Butterfinger. I think I'd go and people that make candy bars aren't fat people. I think that's what the problem is. Oh, my ass is starting to go numb. Ooh, I might be having to stop the stream here soon then. Let's get this white light on here. If it is, I will probably be there. I missed the rest of what you said. Computer people problems, huh? Any questions? Talk to 13-year-olds in the computer. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're just doing research. I mean, that could be it. I mean, you got to know your target market, who you're dealing with here. So I guess you gotta talk to the people that are buying your products. I gotta lean back from the camera to get the angle on this so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I can't get that angle on there and see what I'm doing while I have it on camera. Sorry about that. It's just the way it's gonna be. Paintbrush. Reminds me, you gotta dig up Vulcan parts. I bought the Vulcan. I bought the Vulcan. Oop. That edge is not very clean. Cloudy. Show let Samsung. The lights are flickering. Why are the lights are flickering? Uh-oh. Oh no. Tornadoes. They were talking about them. I know it's 65. Yeah, in my day we had to have somebody else get up and change the channel for you. That's why Dad had kids. My day, TV had dials. Okay, now over to this one again. Well, that paint dries. Was a little, excuse me, farts. Worried that white was gonna be a little stark. But it looks good. The ability to work a CAD system. Of course, then again, that's when it was a CAD system. It's probably a lot easier now. I could probably try to work them now. It's actually not a bad idea. See what I can come up with. I got ideas for older stuff. Things that need to be made. It was almost the stream tonight. So I got that pump grip from Ed. I was going to put that on. I found another hammer shot laying around. I knew I had one. I was going to drop those cylinders in. And then I realized I pretty much sat around today and did nothing other than watch Tokyo Ghoul and eat pizza and be depressed. So I decided that I would come down here. The downside to that is now I took a long nap and now I'm not as tired as I probably should be. I have to get up at like 7 o'clock tomorrow. I should move to another time zone so I don't have to worry about getting as much sleep. That way I can deal with that. That's how it works. That's how math works, right? You can move to another time zone. Yeah, the fuzzy channel. Couldn't tell if it was a knee or an elbow, or if it was a wart on the elbow. They never did take the audio off those, did they? Those had the that freaking noise. Ugh. We knew what channels they were, though. You could always find them. Could always find them. The fuzzy channels. This brush is a good example of what you can get used to using like crappy equipment. I stole this brush from high school years ago to do a painting for Rogue, I think. Literally a painting of Rogue. I like everything but the hair. One of these days I might go back and fix that. Probably not. But I stole a whole bunch of paints. Things like that. And this was one of the brushes. It turns out this cruddy little brush has been worn down to hell. I've been using this thing so damn much. I'm really good with this little brush. I have some really expensive liner brushes that are really, really nice. Oh yeah, the Christian channels. Ones when you hear them praying to God all the time. And then somebody's getting slapped over about, you can hear somebody getting hit over penance. And then they play the like Christian music with the downbeat. I don't know why Christians like getting so much pizza delivery, and I always wanted to have a pool. Be a good Christian, you get a pool boy that comes over and brings you pizza. Well, he never has any money. Think about that. The pizza guy was the one who was really getting screwed, no pun intended. Because, like, you like show up for pizza, it was like $30, like 2 or 3 pizzas, like $30 plus tip. And he's like, well, I don't have any money. Well, we can just do this instead. Well, that's great, but he only makes like in those days, they made like $5 an hour part time, maybe. Like, yeah, you're getting laid, but like you wouldn't have like any money because you don't make enough money because you're a pizza guy. Like, you're gonna have to like charge somebody. Like, it just didn't seem like the best career choice for being a pizza guy. Like, if it happened like once or twice, it's a story, but if it happened to you quite a bit, you'd be hurting for a job, for like money. Minimum wage isn't what it used to be. It's a lot lower. It was a lot lower back then. So you ended up having to, you could wind up in some serious financial difficulties to pay for your little pizza scooter. It could be a problem. Huh. Well, I got something else to discuss about. I guess the financial hardships of pizza kids that get too much sex. That could be a problem. Probably don't bring that up in the union discussion, though. That white looks pretty good. Always debate whether or not to paint that part there. No. I don't remember what the answer to that was. Well, I should throw the clear coat on it, but that white isn't dry yet. So we're going to fix that. To see how. Just the wrong point. When you have bills to play, I used to take off my taking off my clothes. I gotta make my scooter payment. Repo man's coming for a scooter. Screws the lady, and he's like, "Babe, I told you, like, I know what the street value is. That's like $30." He's like, "Yes, I'm still taking your car." Yep, that's right. Doesn't work with repo men. Yeah. Oh wait, Hulu had Repo the Genetic Opera on it. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. You guys ever seen that movie? Puts the clear coat on my skin or gets the dryer again. Puts a clear coat on properly and doesn't get all fuzzy. That's what the problem's been recently, because it's been so damn humid in here and cold that my clear coat's been going all wacky. If you guys haven't seen that movie, you need to watch that movie. Not Robo Geisha. Everybody needs to see that movie, though. It's Repo the Genetic Opera movie. This does is just match part of this in here. Now, Repo the Genetic Opera, not just Repo. Repo was cool, but Repo the Genetic Opera, that's a completely different movie. It doesn't have a guy that looks like Jason Statham. It's a great damn movie. Okay. It's like off center. What the hell, Nerf? I need to check something here. Oh, God. What the hell's crawling down my leg? It's a dryer cord. Terrified the heck out of me. I thought someone was crawling up my leg. MTG tap symbols. Not tap out. MTG. There we go. Never seen it. Oh wow, you should really see it. Little glass vial. My buddy gave me crap because I couldn't remember that. I couldn't remember that song. My favorite song from that entire movie is Thankless Job. James T. Head uses that guy as a puppet. That's freaking awesome. I love that whole freaking scene, and I wish I had my damn. I wish I had my hole puncher. I don't have a hole puncher anymore. Or anything big enough to make that kind of hole size. Yeah, that was the guy from. Actually, there's a funny thing about that. The guy that plays that part actually. Oh, I didn't know they had that on the. Or you Roku? So you're probably watching it on Hulu on Roku. I have a Roku, a Roku too. That's what I got, a Roku too. So the guy that plays that part is one of my friends that live with me's favorite actors. He loves that guy immensely. And his girlfriend left him for that guy when she met him somewhere, not knowing that was him. She just thought it was some dude. And she left him for that guy, which was really heartbreaking to him. But at the same time, he's like, I really just want to go punch this guy out, but I can't because I absolutely. He's like, this guy's like one of my favorite dudes. He was distraught over what to do. He couldn't figure it out. Couldn't figure out what to do about it. I have no way of telling him what to do. I don't have advice for such a thing because I don't have that positioning. In the long run, he's still dating her. She ended up not going to California. There we go. I gotta find a sizing ring. That thing of rings. I used to have one when I was a kid, and I don't know what the hell I did with it. It's probably in my random art box somewhere. One of the, 300 different tackle boxes full of random freaking art supplies that everybody gave me as I was growing up because, oh, your son likes. They're more intent on teaching you a bunch of useless stuff instead of the skills that you'll actually need in life for using art. And that is probably one of the worst circles I think I have ever made in my life. It is really bad. Wow. This is why I need my circle tool. I really need my circle tool. Circle tool. Sounds like a Kiss song. Oh, what's it bugging with my head? I must be slightly sunburnt from being out in the sun. Because that's what happens. Here comes the sun, and I said, it's alright. Now, I like watching the puddles gather rain. All I can do is just pause and say, I'm not saying, I'm not saying. I just want someone to tell me I'll always be there when you wake. You know I like to keep my cheeks dry today. I absolutely love that song. I was heartbroken as a kid when I found out the guy from Blind Melon killed himself on an overdose. It's one of my favorite songs of all times. To this day, it comes on the radio. It's like the only song to tell people to shut the hell up when it's playing. I gotta hear it. probably should do this and not this paint, but this will work. Gotta get it thin. Get the brooks down. I want a semi-translucent kind of quality to it, but I gotta approach it the right way here so it works okay. So you can wind up with issues. So there we go. There we go. I don't want it to be super thick because when you do like I did like the mana symbol on the other one, or Zim, I had to build the clear coat up on it in order to strokes on it. So I needed to make sure that it wasn't going to be a problem. So I should probably change. The thing on that, but I'm not gone. I just could remember what the old versus the new ones were. I'm gonna go back and clean that up a little bit. Pretty sure if I do that, the trick is deciding exactly. It's a U. It's a U shape, so it's a U shape right in the center. This is where the technical brain starts to screw up. It's not exactly center of what I'm looking at. There's a slight offset. If I use that. If I do this, it's what the old school was. I can do serifs. So I think I'm going to go old school. Need a better skill set of brushes. Stop. Not serif, what's the word? Serif is a font. Like painting the triggers on any blasters because it doesn't work out in the long run. It's one of the reasons I usually don't paint things like the where'd it go? Like this piece that rides on top, because if you paint your blasters and you use some of the original coloring, if you like the orange, for example, if you take a look at the orange, there is a triangulation in the orange already on how it's set on the blasters. So you don't need to move it too much. I mean, you don't really need to paint it. Plus, the orange plastic on a Nerf blaster is just really difficult to paint. It does not like to stick. It does not like paint in the least bit. And I do not have the patience to sit back and attempt to build up the paint on the blaster to get it there. So what you do is you look at the triangulation that they have on there, and you'll find that if you leave some of the stuff alone, you'll find it to be triangulated with the other colors. Here. Like the trigger. This front, leave 3 pieces like that. When you paint your blasters, you wind up with a appealing look, and you don't have to like fight like that. You don't have just that one piece that's just standing out like this, like the white on the end of this. You know, that like literally grabs your attention, because there's no not only is it white and stonk, but it starts, but it could be a light purple, it could be black, and it would just stand out and grab your attention because it's the only color there. So your eye is going to come back and rest on it no matter what you do. So if you add that to somewhere else on there, it makes it look a little different. That's why I like to work with 3 colors, preferably, because you don't wind up with you can't overuse colors if you stick with 3. You use a base color for the blaster, the black base as the color. I count it as a starting color, or like a secondary base color, because I'll build the base color on top of that. Like most of my blasters have a lot of exposed black on them because it's easy to go back and fix the black. It's one of the reasons, because can colors don't necessarily get one paint out of a bottle. So I like to leave them black, as it makes it easier to use in the long run, and come back with another color on top of that where you can repair little damaged spots. So I guess I kind of use my black as the base color, and then run an accent and a highlight and a secondary highlight on the thing. I have to come back on this one too, because I botched that a little bit. I botched the keep wanting to call it a serif, but it's not. I forget what the actual damn word is. It's got to be trimmed. The base is too big. And it'll be hard to do though. Man, itchy eyeball. Not the time for allergies to try to kick up right now. It's the one thing that's nice about working in the basement. There's no windows down here. Blow up the outside. What if he just had really bad allergies, and that's what the whole song's about? Okay. Now, trim. I would move the camera in so you guys could see this better, but I kind of need it out of the way. Yeah, I keep bumping my microphone. Sorry, it's like in my ear here. Oh, you mean down into the cave? Oh, yeah, this kind of is a cave. Even in a cave. As I'm on the basement here, I need a better studio setup. It's going to take more time and money, which is something I don't have at the moment. up that side a little more, but I'm kind of blind. Advantage is to seeing when your brush is about to make contact. And it's not like I have a mount for my desk lamp. It's just desperately needed. I could really use that freaking lamp to do things like this. There we go. Yep. And just the smallest dots of paint. That's all I got. Wonder what Miss Marsden would think if she saw me doing this stuff now. She'd probably think it was pretty cool. He was a heck of an art teacher. Maybe. I'm not sure how good of an art teacher she actually was now that I think about it. Because when I got in high school, we did a lot of, we learned all kinds of stuff fast. I got the art education I wanted in high school. It was interesting. My sister then told me later on that she had done the classes weren't the same. Kids were complaining because they weren't getting. The art class was too hard. Miss Marsden was a kind of a pushover for art, but she had been there for a while. It was the art class that you'd think it normally would have been, for middle school. You didn't do paper hand turkeys, but the skill level was there if you wanted it, but it kind of wasn't. Flop. Awakening on what you actually learned in art, and that's when I figured out that my education in high school was pretty good. And over the last couple of years of high school, we got the new high school art teacher. Whatever her name was, I don't recall. She taught art class. She used to teach college art classes and stuff, and then she wanted to learn younger children. Because she said that she was tired of them getting to her level and not knowing anything. I guess public education won out on that one. As it usually does, I assume. It looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Then plastic totes to do final dart on the Zoom Zombono inspired mag pack. Zombona. Oh boy. Well, the only things left are the mana. Fucking is Jewish. Ha. So he's not broke. He's just he's cheap nerfing then, huh? Oh, what? Oh, cheap nerfing? Huh? Sacrificial Zurus. I think my car setup. Camel packs and camel toes. Try not to get them messed up. Do a little trim on this. And then I think that's going to be it because my ain't too bad. There's a bad spot. Oh boy. One of these times I'm going to have to come up with something more exciting than having you guys sit here and watch me paint. People are going to say I completely ripped off Angela, the nerfing girly gamer. I don't want to sit here and have you guys watch me paint all the time. It's kind of like a go-to, but then again, I'm back up in the box and made again. That's what's really going to be important. Get that thing back on the hook. Hey, broke nerfing, yeah, you should be able to do some cheap mods. Why no cheap mods, broke nerfing? Hmm? Hmm? Yes, this blaster will look up. That's the cover brush. This is my good black brush. So, this is the worst kind of dry brushing. Actually, I don't know how you do this. About half. You guys haven't switched into using automotive painter's tape, you really should. Shit's a lot more flexible and forgiving. Yeah, that's your cylinder. Working on your blaster, buddy. Usually I avoid doing such things, working on streams when I'm working on somebody's project. But I need to make headway today. So I opted to break my rule. Having you watch me is just the reason why I don't normally do that. So I'm a big fan of surprises. But I haven't painted the mana symbol yet, so you don't get the breakfast, but you get a pretty good lunch, but you get a pretty good meal. I also use the green one that made me not quite like it as much. So it's not anything like just, it doesn't leave adhesive, it just leaves like a digi-camo paint mark. So I've taken it and used just green stuff is what I prefer to use on it. The trick with this is going to be getting the dry brush on here well. I don't know if I want to try this or not. This might be a bad idea. Most of our smaller blasters. Yes, that's one of the only problems with this is this shit ain't cheap. But I augment that by having frog tape and the other tapes laying around. Uses like I'll use this stuff to do things like this, and then getting close and I have to finish off a large area or cover it, I'll go back to the frog tape, and then when I have to, like if I do a really big blaster, like the handle on this, I will use a paper bag, a plastic bag, and then just bag the whole thing, and then come back on and tape around the borders with that, so I don't get the this. I don't have to like have a massive expense on the blaster and tape alone, because I don't like going out to Pep Boys to get this stuff. And I know that there's an AutoZone like right next to my house, like less than a mile, like way less than a mile. But I always forget that it's there and never go down to pick anything up, which is get over there. See, this is what I was talking about. I need another. I do need another ring of tape. around here. So I'm getting a little close. This is a little expensive, this tape goes, but if I have to buy a roll of it for a commission, cost of supply of parts is what it comes down to. No, it usually gets figured in anyways, if anything, if I'm running out of tape or if I'm running out of paint or I gotta buy like a shitload of brass for some reason. Like you do that. So like you figure all that stuff into it. And half the time I don't bother. Like the only time I ever do that is if I have to really pick stuff up. Like it's all pretty much my commissions work. This is realizing I'm working on a commission with a guy watching me work on his commission is it's kind of on skill price, like how much I have to do, because costs are easy to figure out. It's the time involved that'll kill you on it. So I price accordingly by that and how much of a pain in the ass it's going to be, which makes, I think, more sense than anything else. Because if you think about it, if you get a commission from some of the big guys, they start charging you like $10 per paint. Well, it doesn't take an entire can of paint to do a freaking blaster, unless you're using that stupid clear coat. I mean, it doesn't take an entire can of paint to do that blaster. The only reason you would need to charge for that paint is if you are like picking up more of that paint. So I don't charge for more of the paint. If I have like a nice blue freaking paint, it makes no sense. Because I always feel bad when I see some kid buy something from one of the big name guys and they're like, hey, this was like $60, $80, and there's like one paint on it. And I'm like, dude, that can of paint was $5. There's no reason you had to pay $15. My paint, my prices on the work that's going to go into it, because I can't charge somebody for something. I can't a paint for freaking paint, and that'll be something I will contest for the rest of my career doing this. That I will always have a problem with people and poor kids getting, because they had to have it painted, and the paint apparently was $15 for every can that they decided to use, which comes up to any sense. I don't see a reason for doing that to somebody. And I didn't even use a quarter of the can. It doesn't make any sense to charge somebody that much. Charge people and get advantage of them. That's not cool. That's just not cool. Drifted blaster, and they turn around and charge somebody $40 for it. There we go. About that. Clear coat will level all that down for sure. So, could stripe them. We'll have to think about that. If I stripe them, they wouldn't look like this thing sticking out. Of course, the brass is going to wear off. Just in case you're... Yeah, I think that's what I'm using right now. Nope, Krylon Clear Match. Usually I use Krylon matte paint stuff, but I didn't want to make 4 stops. So I just went to Ace Hardware, bought the brass I needed, and the paint, and another thing of glue, because every time I go in there I buy glue. And we're good. So I gotta do a quick test to see. There we go. Let's see if this is doing that. Choke myself up here. Oh, my connection seems okay here. I'm not having much for glitchy. It's a little, no, you're right, it's a little choppy. Probably the storms. Okay. All right, so that is going to be all right. So we're going to give this a quick spray down. Cancer the hell out of myself. Yeah, that's what's nice about the flat coating. That takes away some of that. That's trying to fog up. Don't you? Nice and light. Oh, it's not fogging up. No. So I can get a good base clear tonight on it. So tomorrow, when I start touching things, another one. You should know I don't care about your eardrums by now. They call this thing a defensive blaster. A couple of thin layers of, and then there we go. There we go. Here, yeah. Got me started on containers, especially relating to Nerf. All I ever do is look. Another one. It's got to have at least. That's a patch spot. Damn it. Oh. Need a little patching. Need a little patching. There we go. Okay. Last one. Right in the nails. There it is. Oh, it fell over. You can't do that while this stuff's on there. Take that right up. So fast. Oh man, okay. Stop and eat dinner. Yeah, I gotta go do that too, I think. Thin scrap metal. I probably would just want a random plastic PVC laying around the damn house, or sheets of P-TEG or something. Oh my God! Before we leave here tonight, I found something unbelievably cool. My surplus store, which is a bad idea for me to go into, but there's a surplus store. It's not heading all the way to see a mutual friend of me, my roommates, and it's not really a surplus store. It's like they say surplus, they have like very little surplus stuff. It's more like an old school hardware store, the size of a surplus store, just huge. And they have giant sheets of Lexan and ABS and all the like the